I'm going to show you one of the possible reasons why your pressure washer could stop working. There is a pressure valve in here that triggers a switch up in here which can stick and not trigger the switch, which will stop your pressure washer from running. I will show you how this is put together and how to take it apart and clean it. The only way I found to remove this is just to force it out. Now remove all the screws from this. Okay, here's your switch housing. There are screws around this that you can remove. And otherwise, you need to pop this off. And to do that, there's a little clip that you need to pull out. And the best way to do that is just to get a screwdriver, get in there and pop it. And that's all there is. Now there's a washer on top. You take that off, set it aside. And then you gotta pop this retaining ring off too. But there is a spring in here, so if you're not careful, it will shoot up. So what I found works, just put a rag on top, get in there and just pry it out. This grip works well. Just get in there, kind of use it, put your fingers over it. Oh, you can feel it pop. There it went. Take this, set it aside. The first time I did this, this whole thing shot way up in the air. Now you can remove this. And inside of here, there's a very small O-ring that seats up in the bottom of that. You have this washer on top of the spring. Here's the spring. And then inside of here, you see down in there, there's another O-ring that's seated in there in this brass fitting area. And then there's a washer on top of the plastic piece. So just pull this out. You can see how that is. And there could be junk on this that's causing this to seize up and not move properly to actuate your switch. So if you want to troubleshoot this area, just clean all this out best you can, clean off all these parts and reassemble it and see what happens. Next we're going to wash all the parts. I got some warm soapy water in here. Just give everything a nice cleaning. Got a little brass brush here to help kind of clear off some stuff. Just be careful of the O-ring that's already attached to this piece. Okay, got all the parts washed. I attempted to clean down in here as best I can. I don't really have anything great that fits down in there to clean this. But there is a little port. You kind of see right up there. Make sure that looks clear. Make sure you don't see any chunks of anything stuck in there. Use a flathead screwdriver, scrape around, see if you can rinse it out and get it knocked out of there best you can. There's the view down the port. Now I'm going to try to get the O-ring seated in there. But first I'm going to put a little bit of spray lubricant in there just to help things kind of go along and to keep things moving nicely once it's all reassembled. And I'm going to use this silicone oil spray. This is good for O-rings. You don't want to use anything that's got petroleum base in it for lubrication because that'll make your O-rings swell. Just keep working it till you get it to seat properly. Looks pretty close. You'll feel it when it goes all the way down. Next goes this piece. It just pushes it right through the O-ring. You'll hear it snap like that. Then take one of these washers, place that down on top. Take your spring, put that down on there. Take your next washer, put that on top of that. Then take this nozzle piece, and that goes with, make sure your O-ring is still seated at the very bottom of this. I never took mine out. Sometimes they do fall out on their own. If they do fall out, make sure you reinsert that. And that'll go like this. But if you notice, it's not going down all the way because you got to compress that spring. So what I found works well, make sure you have your retaining ring in hand, or pin, whatever you want to call this. Use about a 1/2 inch socket, and if you put that on top, you'll have more pressure, and then that also allows for this plastic pin to come through without damaging it. So put that on top, push down. Might need a little persuasion. It's in. I'm gonna grab my hammer. So now that you got this in, you can reassemble everything, put this back together. Put the housing back on if you want to try it. Plug it back in, get some water source to it, and see if it works. I have a small clip of what this looks like on the inside while it's running, and you'll see that when the pressure washer is building pressure, it will actuate this pin and it'll push up and it'll push the switch inside.